Gotta jump right into it here. So, at 10 years old, I had a burning desire to do magic for the rest of my life, if it was real. I loved it in movies. I loved it in stories and books. So I was Baptist. I asked my Baptist preacher, was magic something I could really do? And I asked my parents. My parents were devout Baptists. That means they never went to church. And they all said no. Now, keep in mind, there's the 10 Commandments. If it was impossible to murder, thou shalt not kill wouldn't be on it. If it was impossible to tell a lie, thou shalt not lie wouldn't be in the 10 Commandments. So if it was impossible to do magic or magical things, there wouldn't be 33 verses in the Bible that tell you not to do them. But apparently my Baptist preacher and my parents didn't read those verses. So they told me magic was impossible. It's not real. And I thought, what if they're wrong? What if I could do something that no adult could do? That would be awesomely cool. I was on the first day of the 5th grade, this kid came up to me and he said, meet me in the bathroom at the first break. Okay, I'm a little naive kid. Yeah, I'll do that. First break was at 10:20 a.m. And I went in the bathroom, there's 49 other kids in there, boys and girls. We have this new lighting system. It takes a special key to turn off the lights. But some genius kid figured out if you used a paperclip, you could do it. So we go in there, he says, we're gonna turn out the lights, we're gonna chant a phrase, and if you do it right, the spirit of a burn victim shows up in the mirror. All right, it's a Bloody Mary chant. So we did that. Lights were out. All of a sudden, this is before holograms. There was no special way to do this. Suddenly, this scary face appears in the mirror, and 49 children ran screaming out of the bathroom. One child, he's an idiot. I can call him an idiot because it was me. Thought this is the coolest thing in the world. I did this. I chanted the phrase. I caused that face to appear. This is awesome. So I started doing it every day when I was at school. And eventually notes got sent home because kids got hurt. I don't mean like bumped and bruised hurt. I mean broken arm, broken leg hurt. So I had to take this note to my dad in the den. My dad was a sniper in the Marines in 1950. And in his usual loving tone, he asked me, have you been playing this game? Being terrified of my dad as I was, I told him the absolute truth. No. So that I wouldn't get caught at school and get suspended for 3 days, I started playing the game at home. Except when I was at school, I played it once a day. When I played it at home, before I left for school, I played it at least 10 times. When I came home from school, my parents weren't home, and I would play it anywhere from 20 to 50 times a day. Let's bring the danger right in the house. Every time I played, the face showed up, it was there. And I'm thinking, that's awesome. And then I started wondering, I play Dungeons and Dragons every weekend practically. I'm always a wizard or a sorcerer in that. And my magic always works there, but that's just, you roll a 20-sided die and if you get a 16 or higher, your magic works. Well, that's not really a magic spell, but that works every time. And every time I do the Bloody Mary chant, the face appears. Maybe whatever that face is, maybe I can somehow make that work for me. Maybe I can harness that power. But I decided I want to do a magic spell in real life. But I'm a little nerd, or geek, whichever term you prefer. And I can't tell anybody that I'm going to do this because I'm already made fun of almost every day. I don't want to be made fun of for one more thing. So I don't tell anybody. And I do a spell for money. And the first time I did it, I found, the next day, I found a can of tennis balls with a $5 bill in it. Now this is 1976. You guys probably don't remember, but there was a gas crunch back then. Comic books were 15 to 20 cents. Candy bars were 15 to 20 cents. Penny candy was a penny. So now that penny candy is now like 50 cents. So, but I thought, you know, everything I want is dirt cheap. $5, that's a good score. But this could have been a coincidence. So I did it again the next weekend. Found a $10 bill on the side of the road. $15 in 8 days. That's pretty cool. But it still could have been a coincidence. I'm a hard sell. So next weekend I did it again, but I did it in the bathroom at home. And halfway into the spell, I did the Bloody Mary chant. And when the scary face showed up, I let it know I was doing a spell for money. And I kept going with my spell. Next day I went out, I was playing. I was in a large unpaved parking lot, and I found what looked like Monopoly money rolled up tight in rubber bands. Okay, stuck that in my pocket, went about playing. Into the night, everybody's in bed asleep. I'm in bed, she pulled up over my head, flashlight in my mouth, unraveling my rubber bands to see what kind of treasure I got. And it looked like Monopoly money to me because I'd never seen a $100 bill. And when I unraveled all of them, I had 10 $100 bills. So it's 1976, everything I want's dirt cheap, I'm worth $1,000. Wow. Now to put that in perspective of money today, that'd be worth about $6,000 now. Anybody think that I revealed to my Baptist preacher and to my parents that magic is real? It works? Nobody? Yeah, I kept that little gem to myself. Knowledge is power, and I apparently have more power than my Baptist preacher and my parents. I kept right on doing magic. When I was 11 years old, I became the victim of a sexual assault at school at the hands of a female teacher. She told me I enjoyed it, I liked it, I wanted to do it, it was my idea. And if I told anybody, I would go to prison, I'd be expelled from school, my parents would disown me. She's a teacher, why would you lie to me? The only thing that gave me comfort and solace was more magic. So I dove further into that. I just got every book I could in the library on magic. We had books at school and books at the public library. And I was just learning everything I could. When I was 12 years old, there was a kid that used to play D&D with us when I was 10. And he disappeared for a while. We thought he moved away. He stopped going to school, he stopped playing. But it turned out that he was being homeschooled. Yes, Satanists actually homeschool. And he stopped going to public places. Every place that he would go, he just stopped. And now suddenly he's back. And now he's a satanic recruiter. He's trying to get us to join his group. And he tells us, hey man, they play D&D campaigns every weekend, and they think magic is real. Well, I know magic's real, so I'm gonna go check that out. Now at my house, we have like a 25-inch TV, but over there, they've got a 50-inch projection screen. You know, at my house, we can watch a G-rated movie, or PG if it was vetted by my dad first. But over there, there's R-rated movies, there's X-rated movies, there's triple X-rated movies, and there's triple X-rated movies with kids in it, my age or younger. They told me that what happened to me when I was 11 years old should have never happened to anybody. But now, I can get my power back. Nobody can turn me down, and if I'm uncomfortable, I can turn anybody down that I want to. And I can star in these movies, and they'll make me famous. So I was in kiddie porn for 4.5 years, thinking that I'm the luckiest kid in the world. It wasn't until I became an adult that I realized that I was re-victimized every time, that I was being molested or groomed, or was just a victim of some pedophile. I thought I was the luckiest kid in the world until I became an adult and had to go to counseling. But I'm involved involved in this. You know, at my house, you can have 3 meals a day and a snack if mom's in a good mood. And all these things are healthy. We're eating fruits and vegetables for pretty much every meal. But at this place, you want to live on Snicker bars all day? You can do that. Bag of chips and pizza? You can do that. Anything you want to eat, it's up to you. Eat whatever you want. Do whatever you want. You know what goes great after a great meal? A cigarette. You know what goes great with a meal? A glass of wine. You know what goes great if you want to eat a big meal but you don't think you can do it? Smoke a joint. What goes great on the weekend? My favorite drug of choice was either mushrooms or weed, or I would drop acid and do MDMA. And it's called candy flipping. It's ecstasy and acid pretty much combined. You know, I'm having, to me, the time of my life. And all this stuff, my dad told me not to ever do any of this stuff or you could die. Well, notice I'm still here. My dad was either lying to me or flat out wrong. You know, that stuff, I never got sick, I never OD'd, and I never died. So those kind of things make me angry at my parents at the time. You know, why would you tell me not to do it unless you're wanting intentionally to cut down on my fun? You know, my parents, and I saw the Bible the same way, were the no police. You know, you'd ask my dad, hey, there's a new concert coming to town, can I go see that? No. There's a new movie coming out on Friday, can I see that? No. Dad, can I? No. Dad, no. After a while, I just look at my dad, no. You know, the Bible was a whole bunch of thou shalt not, don't do this, it's impossible to do that, you can't do this, it's a sin to do this. Here's a list of 10 commandments and 300 subcategories under each one, stuff you can't do. So God is also the fun police. Then, as I'm going out with these guys who are letting me do anything I want, all I gotta do is ask and I can do it. And they suddenly tell me, this kid comes up to me and he says, you know you're in a Satanic Coven, right? And he runs away. And I just laughed it off. But then after a while I was like, you know, what if he's telling me the truth? So I went up to an older member that I trusted and I said, hey, I heard something. You're gonna laugh. I heard this was a Satanic Coven. Crazy, right? And he said, it is. And my heart sunk into my stomach. And I said, I'm not a member, am I? No. Would you like to be? And I had to think about it seriously because, you know, at this time, I'm smoking cigarettes every day. You gotta be 19 to buy cigarettes. I'm 12 years old. I'm addicted to porn. Gotta be 18 to buy porn. I'm still 12. I'm also drinking a lot. Sometimes during the week, definitely on the weekend. Gotta be 21 to buy booze. I'm still 12. I'm having sex at least on the weekend, sometimes during the week. If I quit, I'm gonna lose all my privileges. Satan had me. I was addicted to all this stuff. I wanted to do it. I enjoyed it. And where am I gonna find it all if I quit? I'm taking a bunch of illegal drugs that never made me sick. And I wanted to do more. So I was like, hey, what do I gotta do? He said, there's 13 steps to joining a Satanic Coven. And funny, you've done almost all of them already. All you've got left to do, you gotta slice your left thumb and bleed onto a document and sign it in blood in 3 places. The blood of Jesus washes away all sin, but not mine. I sign my name to that. Jesus died for everybody, but not me. And I sign my name to that. On page 5 of the 5-page document, I agree to sell my soul to the devil. Anybody believe you can sell your soul to the devil? Anybody?
No.
Yes. Okay. How many people here can legally sell me Jack Gaines' car? Anybody? Why not?
You're on.
It's not yours. It's the same reason you can't sell your soul. It's not yours. You don't own it. You may have heard God died for you. Jesus paid the ultimate price for your soul. You can't loan it. You can't lease it. You certainly cannot sell it. Now, what you can do is give your will to the devil. But all you've got to do to give your will back to God is go to confession. Now, you may have heard the devil's a liar. I am here to confirm. If he tells you good morning, get a second opinion. But at 13 years old, you're not the sharpest tack in the box. I thought I knew everything. I couldn't be told anything. And I believed I had sold my soul to the devil. You come into a room in a white robe, signifying you're losing your innocence. You are baptized, full submersion, in a vat of human blood, pig's blood, and human urine. You come up out of that, you go into another room and take a shower. You come out in a black robe with the cowl raised, signifying you've been baptized into a world of darkness. You sit in a chair and you're handed a wheel with a crucifix in it. You spin the crucifix upside down, signifying human sacrifice. You break the arms downward, denouncing Christ. They read the document off that you signed the night before. You show your thumb so you can show that it's your thumb that you cut. It's your blood that's on the document. And then you have a celebration, celebrating that you're now a Satanist. But the reality of that situation is that you're celebrating one day you're going to die and go to hell. When I was 14, I participated in my first assisted abortion. Now, I say assisted because I don't actually kill the baby. My job as a magic practitioner is to get blood on my hands for the spell I'm doing. But I also believe that every person in that abortuary pays or plays an equal role in the death of the child. So the secretary at the front desk, the counselor inside, the security guard out in the parking lot, the abortion doctor, the abortion nurse, even the person that mows their grass that makes their building look nice and presentable to the public. Everybody is responsible for the death of every baby in that building. So I was just as equally responsible as the abortion doctor that did it. So I did my first one when I was 14, 3 months before turning 15. I was told a few years ago that my talk is age appropriate for 15 and older. My problem with that is that by the time I was 15 years old, I smoked cigarettes every day. I was an alcoholic. I was addicted to porn. I was addicted to masturbation. I was addicted to a whole bunch of drugs. I'd broken all 10 commandments, including murder. And now I'm old enough to hear my own talk. I'm not saying that every child is as bad as me, but no child is as innocent as you think they are. And if your child has access to the internet, they've seen things far worse than you've ever seen. You know, I talk usually to older parents, and a lot of older parents are too embarrassed to talk to their kids about subjects. They don't know how to say it or what to say. You've got to figure out a way to tell them in a language that you know they would understand. And you've got to let them know that they can come to you and tell you anything. Because if you're going to blow up and get mad at them, they're not going to tell you. And then you're going to find out how they know because they're going to make their girlfriend pregnant. Or some boy is going to make them pregnant. Or they're going to go on the internet and look because obviously the internet, everything there is truth. They're always going to find the accurate answer there. Or worse, they're going to go to their friends who are just as dumb as they are. At least if they come to you, they get a Catholic answer and they get a family perspective. and that's what you want them to have.